Hi, and welcome to segment one of our series on the multi-generation Dynasty Trust. I'm your host, attorney Michael Potter. Now, we're looking at the Dynasty Trust within the context of entity planning generally. That means that we'll be looking at it within the context of the use of companies, partnerships, and various kinds of trusts. Now, there's actually quite a few things that are different about the multi-generation dynasty trust, but certainly the most significant of them, the one that stands out to most people, is that it's intended not only to protect you, but also protect several generations of your family. One generation after the next, after the next, after the next, just as long as the law will allow it. One of the things that I enjoy the most about the Dynasty Trust is that it allows you to do planning based upon your core values, those things that you stand for and believe in, the things that you want to be remembered for and passed down for many generations, the values that you have. And you can accompany those values with assets that grow over time. I'll show you exactly how to do it. You know, when I do a dynasty trust for a family, I like it if they can get away for a few days just to take some time off together, to get away from the cell phones and the television and the radio and the Facebook and computer and Twitter and everything else. Just to take some time off and have fun. And while you're having fun with your family, you can have a nice casual conversation about those things that are important to you. Like, what is the role of your family in relationships? How does that figure into things? What are your hopes and dreams for your descendants? And what's the role of money and property anyway within the total context of your core values? When you take that time away from all of the electronic media and the news and all of the things that invade our thoughts every day, and you can just relax and have a casual conversation, you'd be amazed how much you can learn, even from your children, on the things that are important. They get you back to your core values, and planning from that perspective can be a wonderful way to go. Now, the grantors, that's you, are the founders of the multi-generation dynasty trust. And you will set the parameters of the trust, including any incentives you'd like to build in. I like that part. I like it when families build in incentives into the trust so that the generations coming along after them aren't just handed an inheritance. In fact, they have to stretch themselves to become higher value human beings on this planet, making it a better place, contributing in the work environment, contributing in the area of social justice, contributing to the betterment of our community. You know what? We need more people like that. Don't you agree? And that's where building in incentives within the Dynasty Trust can be a great way to help that next generation reach even higher. Now, once the grantor has decided to form the multi-generation dynasty trust, I like to work with the grantors so that the incentives that are built in, the values that are part of the planning, all coalesce and integrate into a document that gives them a real hope and a real chance at creating generation after generation after generation of high-value human beings who are going to make the world a better place because they were here. Plus, they're going to have incentives built in. I love that. So you will select who the beneficiaries will be. Now, in many cases, it is your children and your grandchildren and all of the greats that come after them. But if you don't have kids, well, maybe it will be your nieces and your nephews. You can set up incentives for them so that they achieve things like college education, contributing to the community, supporting the betterment of the world, achieving good things in science and education, maybe attaining a master's or doctoral degree, maybe finding a cure for cancer, who knows? You could have within your Dynasty Trust wonderful incentives built in for every generation that comes after you. Now, I know when I use the term dynasty, many of you will think about that old television show. You know, the one that had the rich oil tycoon based out of Denver, Colorado, and the drama that all his family went through every week. It was a nighttime soap opera. Went on for season after season. The American public just loved it. But I'll tell you something. You don't have to be rich to set up a dynasty trust. It's actually very affordable, and with some good planning and the use of the right financial tools to go with it, you can achieve a dynasty for your family that goes on for generation after generation. And I'll show you how to protect it from lawsuits, from creditors, even divorce and estate taxes. If you'll watch the next segment, I think you'll really enjoy it. Well, in this segment of our series on the Dynasty Trust, we've looked at the bird's eye view of what the Dynasty Trust is capable of doing in terms of benefiting yourself and many generations of your family, from building incentives to making the world a better place, and also helping them grow as people so that they're not just inheriting money and property, they're inheriting your core values. Very important planning. Now, in our next segment, we'll look more closely at how the Dynasty Trust operates on the ground in interaction with other types of entities, and how it can best protect you from lawsuits, from the invasion of your financial privacy, from divorce, estate taxes, and I'll show you how to put it on automatic pilot. I'm attorney Michael Potter, and I look forward to hearing from you.